I want to talk about the elections that are coming up in May. More or less every year it's local government elections or county elections or the general elections. But May's the time that it's normally done. And when it comes to local county elections, we're talking about getting a 30% turnover or turnout, I should say. Now, I don't want to get on too much on percentages because it bores people, but when it comes to a general election, if we use the last election as an example, we had a turnout of 59%, so 41% never voted. That amounted to over 18 million people never voted who were registered to vote. The reason why I make that emphasis is because there was a further, God knows how many, but according to the latest or the most recent, what I'm aware of, Electoral Commission investigation, there's another 5 to 6 million who don't even register. So if you put them together, we're talking about at least 23 million people who never voted. And there was 9.5 million people who voted for the Labour Party, which became the Labour government. So we've got 23 million there, the largest cohort, and they do not have a seat in Parliament for reasons best known to themselves. It could be apathy, it could be antipathy. We don't know. But 9.5 million people have now got a majority of the seats in Parliament, a massive majority, overwhelming majority, so they can do what they like. They are less than 20% of the population, but they have 100% of the power. Meanwhile, all those people who haven't voted, I don't criticise you for not voting because there's no one who you want to vote for. Those people have got someone they feel they can vote for. Good luck to them. They're lucky that the system allows them to have their views expressed, if not by themselves. Well, they are at the ballot paper, but they're expressed by their sort of delegates who they vote for. But if you don't want anybody, then none of the above is not an option on the ballot paper, which becomes problematic then. So what do? Most of us stay at home. Others don't vote at all and don't even register. And so that amounts to the 23 million. But your silence is not taken as protest. It's taken as consent. Now, since turkeys don't vote for Christmas, the elected politicians are not going to campaign for or allow none of the above to be on the ballot paper because it is against their interests and gives up the power that they have and gives us more power, or gives the electorate more power than what they've currently got. But until none of the above is on the ballot paper, what can we do? Well, we stay at home. We've all got our reasons. But I'm telling you, there is a way. And it is a way where we can take back control of the elections. And the way we do that is we attend the ballot station or the polling station. And when we attend it, we collect our ballot paper. Obviously, we have to register to be able to collect the ballot paper in the first case. So I'm not only speaking to the 18 million who don't vote, I'm speaking to those 5 million who don't register. And then if you can't hand on heart truly put a cross beside one of the candidates, then, and none of the above not being on the ballot paper, then you have another option, which seems so apparent that it hasn't been made before, but it is like hiding in plain sight. And what is that? You take your ballot paper home. It's not a crime. It's not against the rules, although the polling staff will probably tell you otherwise because they're trained to do so. But it isn't. The European Court of Human Rights Protocol 1 Article 3 says that everyone has the right to be able to free expression, and part of that free expression at the ballot paper, at the polling station, is taking your vote home. Now, if all those people who haven't got a party who they wish to vote for takes their vote home, then they're saying it's none of the above. It will cause and will have great consequences for the legitimacy of the elections. An election which should really, when it comes to county elections anyway, have a question about the legitimacy anyway, because they only get turnouts of 30%. And so it wouldn't be hard to have a turnout of thousands, if not millions, of people who take their votes home. And it would be hijacking the election. But you're entitled to hijack the election because it is your election as much as anybody else's. So I would ask you to put this video shared with your friends who don't feel they have anybody to vote for and who are non-political in many, many ways, and they don't want to give credit to the system in any way, shape or form. But you don't do it by remaining silent. You have to be active. You have to attend the polling station, and you therefore take your vote up. That will give you the power. People might say, well, it's nothing in the great scheme of things. But if there's 18 million mobilised, we can take back control. And at the moment, the people are not in control.